I'm a huge fan of roguelikes. It's addicting doing multiple runs while attempting to win against the multitude of random elements that you'll encounter. No two runs will ever be the same, and even if they feel similar to one another, a successful roguelike will add enough diversity through its items, abilities, and opponents to keep you repeatedly playing the game. As the genre grows in popularity, developers are finding ways to implement unique ideas and themes into their games, which is leading to some interesting and fun entries into the long list of roguelikes. From the isometric fairy tale freedom fighters of Ravenswatch to the 3D open world magically medieval Ravensbound, this year has already created some new, never before seen renditions in the genre. Roguelikes are normally quite simple in terms of content and thrive off of their replayability through the features mentioned above. This is exactly what Shoplike, the roguelike item shop experience, yes, that is the full title, does with their unique take on running a shop in a medieval, faction-based setting. Your goal is to successfully run a shop over the course of a set number of days in order to pay off a loan that you were granted. You'll use a variety of methods to min-max your profit on a daily basis in order to pay off the loan by the last day. Otherwise, you'll find yourself going bankrupt and living on the street. As a concept, this really spoke to me, considering I'm a numbers nerd. Spreadsheets are my passion, so I felt like I would be able to quickly master the mechanics of Shoplike. You may be asking yourself how a shopkeeper game could possibly pass as a roguelike. And the best answer I can give is, it's complicated. I want to state that I do enjoy this game, and it was a great break after playing Lord of the Rings Golem for 2 hours. I found myself having a blast while I was falling into a hole of number crunching, probability, and strategy. The reason that I say it's complicated is that there is a lot to manage in order to properly navigate all the features. It isn't as straightforward as your typical combat-based roguelike. You have to be aware of all the different resources at your disposal in order to make any progress towards cutting down your debt. In fact, it took me 6 runs to pay off my loan on the first shop, which I'm assuming is the easiest. I love how in-depth it gets, however, I definitely feel like the menu navigation could use some polish, especially since the game is entirely baked into menu selections. It quickly gets cluttered and sometimes feels like a web game, which, if this was a web game, I would be quite impressed with it. There is a lot to manage between the items you're selling, the buffs and debuffs that rotate each day on the newspaper, your relationships with the customers, your relationships with the factions, the ability that each faction offers, and the alternate methods of making money through the bank. And that's just scratching the surface. When you approach each run, how you play will change massively just on how you sell your items and whether you choose to sell for less profit in an attempt to raise your appeal with factions and customers, or sell for a higher profit in order to raise your funds at the start of the game and quickly expand your inventory. I don't really know the best option, but in the run that I won, I made sure to get on the customer's good side, and it paid off in the end. On top of this, as you successfully sell items, your shop levels up, granting you a choice between 3 randomized, specialized cards that will each grant you a buff. This is just one of the many RNG layers that the game adds to its roguelike components, and with every unique layer, you begin to multiply the variety of run styles at your disposal, and Shoplike does a fantastic job of being as in-depth as it is. I've yet to play any run the same way twice, and the only similarity the run shared was the fact that I was purchasing items and selling them, which should be expected, as that is the main point of the game. If you want to learn more about the customers shopping at your store, then you should grow your relationship with the Heroes Guild. If you want to manipulate your customers into spending more money, then you should grow your relationship with the Shadow Clan, while also selecting a specific card that raises every customer's buying threshold. I could go on about all the different methods and opportunities to grow your shop, but it's best that you experience it for yourself. For the first portion of your experience in Shoplike, you'll be exploring the different faction benefits. The game even recommends it, and I would highly suggest that you do exactly that. Shoplike's tutorial is lackluster and doesn't do the best job of explaining how to navigate the world, but it lays the foundation and puts the exploration in your hand. I will note that the game doesn't save its settings in between each run, which resulted in me having to disable the tutorial, as well as needing to put the game back into full screen, due to it auto-minimizing into windowed mode. This was a slight annoyance at best, as it didn't break the game in any way, but I hope that it is on the developer's radar, because I can see this bothering a less patient person. As I mentioned above, the game needs a lot of polishing, but its foundation is great. The last feature that I should mention is how each day works. Simply put, each day allows for a certain amount of interactions, ranging from selling items to visiting town. You're able to see how many customers you have at the start of each day, so you can plan your other actions around that number accordingly, as you'll want to make sure you cycle through all of your customers. The time feature is crucial for making this game work, as it adds a control variable into the mix. It is something that you can always expect to work around, and it is necessary to take into consideration to give you the best chance at min-maxing your profit. If you are looking to increase your library of roguelikes, and you are a number aficionado like me, then I would definitely recommend that you check out Shoplike. The developer, Rand.exe Studios, has already confirmed that they will continue pushing out improvements for the game, so I'm sure we can expect to see some polishing and possibly new features. It's a great game to play on the side once you gain an understanding of what each faction offers. The navigation complications dip, and you'll start to craft complex strategies and synergies to get the most bang for your buck. We enjoyed our time in Shoplike, and please feel free to let us know in the comments below what you thought of the game. If you have any questions, drop them there, and we'll be happy to answer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and subscribe.